Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the third installment of my video series on working with the shadow. If you've listened to my first two videos, then you know I'm examining Jung's conception of the shadow archetype and investigating what we can as writers draw from it. I hope you don't mind, but in the remainder of the series, while I will still talk about the shadow, I'm going to broaden my focus and look at the structure of the hero's journey in the context of Jung's work more broadly. In that light, let's ask a fundamental question. What is the hero's goal? The hero is on a journey, of course. So what is the goal? Where is he going? What does he want to achieve? Yes, in every story, the hero will have a different goal depending on what the story is. For example, in Star Wars 4, Luke's goal was to deliver blueprints of the Death Star to the Rebel Alliance. In Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark, Indy's goal was to find the Ark of the Covenant and bring it home to the United States so it could be studied. But is there a more general goal, a goal that all heroes try to fulfill regardless of the specific story they find themselves in? Perhaps. Carl Jung writes, "There are natural transformation processes which happen to us. This other being is the other person in ourselves, that larger and greater personality maturing within us. This relationship is a mystery to the scientific intellect, because the intellect is accustomed to regard these things unsympathetically. It is the representation of a friendship between two men, which is simply the outer reflection of an inner fact. It reveals our relationship to that inner friend of the soul to whom nature herself would like to change us. That other person who we also are and yet can never attain to completely. We are that pair of discursi, one of whom is mortal and the other immortal, and who, though always together, can never be made completely one. The transformation processes strive to approximate them to one another, but our consciousness is aware of resistances, because the other person seems strange and uncanny, and because we cannot get accustomed to the idea that we are not absolute master in our own house. We should prefer to be always I and nothing else, but we are confronted with that inner friend or foe, and whether he is our friend or our foe depends on ourselves." That's Carl Jung, Volume 9, Part 1. The Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious, paragraph 234, page 130. There's a lot to unpack there. I am not a Jungian scholar, but I take it that Jung here is expressing the thought that we are not just our consciousness, we are not just our ego, we are also a sometimes unfelt self. Okay, so what's my point in reading this to you? I think that the goal of the Jungian hero's journey is for the protagonist to confront that inner friend and to get to know them as much as possible. In doing so, the hero will come to know themselves. Part of this journey is shining a light upon the parts of ourselves that lie in shadow. So hopefully I've kind of drawn the threads together there a little bit. I just wanted to set that up. Now let's step through a traditional story structure in 3 acts and see how it changes when examined through a Jungian lens. A Jungian look at the hero's journey. I've chosen to divide our examination of story structure into small bits. Today, we are just going to look at the ordinary world. Down the road, we're going to be looking at what I'm calling the rule, the inciting incident, the call to adventure, the disaster, the acceptance of the call, the descent into hell, entering the special world of the adventurer, trials and tribulations, pinch point, prepare for the midpoint, and midpoint. And then, of course, that's just the first half, then will come the second half. And so I'm just going to take this one at a time. The videos are going to be very short, and hopefully I'll be able to put up one a day. So let's talk about the ordinary world. The hero starts off in the ordinary world. In the opening pages, we want to quickly establish the hero's status quo. For example, in Star Wars 4, A New Hope, Luke Skywalker helps his aunt and uncle operate their moisture farm. Every day, Luke fixes droids and runs errands for his uncle. But the hero always wants more. In this case, Luke wants adventure. Tatooine is an out-of-the-way planet in a remote area of the galaxy. He wants to explore, to have adventures. He is a good pilot and he wants to learn how to fly the latest planes, the fastest planes. He wants to test himself against other great pilots. And, of course, something is keeping the hero from doing what he wants. Luke's aunt and uncle need his help to run their moisture farm. They raised Luke, took care of him, loved him, and he has a duty to them. Luke wants to leave Tatooine, and he resents his aunt and uncle for keeping him there. These feelings of resentment, of disquiet, are real enough, but Jung taught that everything has an opposite. In this case, one could guess that Luke's focus on the bonds that are keeping him on Tatooine is preventing him from acknowledging the genuine feelings of affection and deep reticence he has to leave his family and friends. It is, after all, the only life he has ever known. Yes, Luke has dreams, but that is all they are, dreams. To leave Tatooine would be to venture into the chaotic unknown. Okay. That's it for today. I'm going to put out another short video tomorrow until I get this series done. As I mentioned before, I have just emerged from a deepish dive into Jung's collective works and have realized that that particular rabbit hole is bottomless. So I shall study and produce videos at the same time. Thank you for listening. If you got something from this, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and good writing.